Jai Hind friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel just said that, he asked the forces to go ahead. After putting up a very brief fight, the Portuguese surrendered and they left. Goa became part of India. One community actually starts a pogrom against the other community. That is what happened. It was almost like a pogrom, where people went inside the airport shouting Allahu Akbar, looking for Jews to kill. Jai Hind friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Today is National Unity Day, 31st of October, National Unity Day, because today is the birthday of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. It was in 2014 that Prime Minister Narendra Modi declared that 31st of October every year will be celebrated as National Unity Day. One of the tallest leaders during the freedom movement in India and post-freedom, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the primary reason why India is in the shape and the contours that you see today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you a little bit back into history. 565 princely states in India at the time of independence. Of course, the British were ruling almost the entire India. There were small enclaves which are not with the British, but largely the British were ruling India. And they had all these prince, kings, principalities, and nawabs, and small little rajas and maharajas everywhere. And they were divided. There were some rajas and maharajas, like, for example, the Maharaja of Gwalior, for example, the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir. So these were, or the Maharaja of Mysore, these were the big maharajas, They were at the top end of royalty in India. Or the Maharaja of Jaipur or the Maharaja of Jodhpur, these were the big ones. But then there were smaller principalities, sometimes 100 acres, 200 acres. So India was full of Maharajas and Rajas and Nawabs and Nizams and such like. 565. And during independence, all of them were pulling apart at the seams. A lot of people had bet that India would not make it. They said that Indians are not fit to rule themselves and they always need a benevolent hand from outside. They called themselves benevolent in spite of the fact that millions had been killed in British-induced famine in India. Not just famine, ladies and gentlemen, famines in India. What happened was that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, they say that history chooseth the man. And I think Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was chosen by history to lead India, at least in the integration of states. So I take you back to Operation Polo of Hyderabad, where the Nizam had an idea, He was very far from Pakistan. And in his heart, he was pro-Pakistani, the Nizam. But then he also said that since I'm very far from Pakistan and physical joining of the two land masses is impossible, obviously, a lot of people from Hyderabad did land up in Pakistan. But the Nizam said that I wish to be independent. And he had this small little army called the Razakars, who were quite brutal. They were not good fighters. They were not professional fighters. They weren't even brave fighters, but they were brutal. I mean, the kind of people who would absolutely terrify a hapless population, unarmed population. They were very good at that, terrifying common people. Operation Polo was launched. The Indian Army entered Hyderabad. And when the Indian Army entered Hyderabad, everything went quiet. They tried to fight for a couple of days, and then the Nizam's army surrendered and Hyderabad became a part of India. And this is what Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel did, because so many people, so much of greed, so much of ambition. And where would have India been today without Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? Had Kashmir been left to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, ladies and gentlemen, trust you me, there would have been no Kashmir problem. The Indian Army would have entered Kashmir, not in October. It would have entered Kashmir on the 15th of August. It would have just gone there, taken everything, end of story, no line of control, nothing. It would have been India's territory. The problem is that Nehru tried his statesmanship. He wanted to look like a statesman in front of the world. Sometimes what you need is brute force. Sometimes what you need is decisiveness. And a lot of people say that maybe Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel should have become India's first Prime Minister. To our enduring misfortune, he did not. And today we are caught with a lot of issues. Jawaharlal Nehru had done a lot of good for India. These IITs and IIMs and, these huge institutes in India. Education was one thing that really took off because he was very focused on education. And I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. I think perhaps for that era, where everything was so unsettled that you needed an iron hand. That is why Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is called the Iron Man of India. He had that resolute will. And he said, for India, I'll do anything. Goa, Operation Vijay, land, sea and air. The Portuguese had ruled Goa for more than 4 centuries. And the British were not in Goa, the Portuguese were in Goa. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel just said that, he asked the forces to go ahead. After putting up a very brief fight, the Portuguese surrendered and they left. Goa became part of India. Had it been left to some of the leaders, I'll not take their names, but had it been left to some of the leaders, we would have been having a problem with Portugal in Goa, we would have been having a problem with the Nizam in Hyderabad, and India would have been full of problems. Possibly, and unfortunately, fractured. But that was not the case, and we owe it to this great man. The Prime Minister went to the Statue of Unity, and he visited the Statue of Unity in Gujarat, Kevadia, where he paid tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the country's first Home Minister on his birth anniversary. And he performed Jalabhishek, where you put water, it's a sign of honor, a sign of respect, and played floral tributes at the statue of Sardar Patel on the occasion of Rashtriya Ekta Divas, National Unity Day. At an event later, the Prime Minister administered the National Unity Day pledge to the public at Ekta Nagar. Meanwhile, in Delhi, President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar and Union Minister Amit Shah and a host of dignitaries offered floral tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his birth anniversary. Friends, I just want to tell you, it's very easy to judge Sardar Patel using today's parameters. And it's very easy to judge Jawaharlal Nehru, using today's parameters. But the fact of the matter is that why did it take till 2014 for somebody to get up and say, we need to celebrate this man called Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He's a national hero. Why did it take till 2014? There are some things that we'll never know. It was when Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister of India. When he took oath, one of the first things he said was, here is a man that India looks up to. Here is a man who's responsible for the unity of India. Here is the Iron Man of India, and we must honor him, and we will honor him on this date every single year henceforth. And great step. We have read so much about Jawaharlal Nehru, and rightly so. I'm not saying we should not read about him, rightly so. We've read so much about Mahatma Gandhi. What do you know about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? Do we even know that he is the reason why India is united today? We don't know that. And we should, because he is one of modern India's heroes. Now, Pakistani coach, head coach is Grant Bradburn, and Grant Bradburn says that, there are foreign conditions in India, which is why we can't play well. I don't know what is wrong. I think this guy, Grant Bradburn, he would have been normal before he entered Pakistan. Now he's become Pakistani. Because if you look at his name, he's very obviously a foreigner. He's a white guy. I've seen his photograph. And now he says, actually, we're losing because foreign conditions are there in India. Of course. What do you think are local conditions for Sri Lanka? Or for England? Or for New Zealand? Or for Australia? Or for Afghanistan, for that matter? Or for any other team, South Africa? Do you think these are local conditions for them? For everybody except for the Indians, these are foreign conditions. Now, they're also saying that every single match is in a different venue. We get used to one, we get used to another. But everybody's playing under the same conditions. The Indians are playing. You say that the Indians are used to it because it's their country and it's, they play the IPL, so they're used to the pitches. Yeah, of course, we're used to it, but had this World Cup happened in England, England would have been used to these pitches. So I don't know what the Pakistanis are complaining about, and they're being sore losers. They don't understand that they have lost because they have been unable to perform. Blaming everybody. Foreign conditions. This is such a lousy excuse. He says this tournament is on foreign conditions for us. None of our players have played here before. Every venue is a new one, including this one. That's true for everybody. That's true for the English side. Afghanistan beat you. For Afghanistan, India is a foreign country. Why did you get thrashed by Afghanistan? Okay, Russia blames external forces after mob storms Dagistan airport, looking for Israelis, So Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, I'm quoting him, it is well known and obvious that yesterday's events at Makhachkala airport are to a large extent the result of external interference. Now, whenever somebody says it is well known, he's making up a story. Okay? India is Russia's friend. I have a lot of respect for Russia. I respect President Putin. But this is wrong. This Kremlin guy, Dmitry Peskov, it is well known. Never start a sentence with it is well known or everybody knows. What do you mean? If you think there is outside interference, show the world the proof and get over with it. West is trying to interfere. Maybe it is. I'm not saying that the West is blameless. The West has some of the worst war crimes in the history of this planet. So I'm not saying that the West is blameless. I'm not saying that. But never start a sentence with everybody knows. What do you mean everybody? Who knows? Who is everybody? If you have proof of Western interference, put it out and say that here is the proof. Yeah, the West has been interfering. The problem is that you, Russia, have a radicalized population in Dagestan. And you don't understand that. You don't understand that. You have a radicalized population. What was the rumor? The rumor was that, hey, on this flight there are Jews. And the people of Dagestan said, hey, it's an excellent idea. Let's go kill some Jews. This mindset cannot be instigated unless there is a lot of hatred beforehand. Is anybody addressing the elephant in the room here? I don't understand this. Let me ask a simple question. If two communities get along just fine, can somebody within a space of a week suddenly make them hate each other enough that one community actually starts a pogrom against the other community? That is what happened. It was almost like a pogrom, where people went inside the airport shouting Allahu Akbar, looking for Jews to kill. Now, I don't understand this. How can you say that the West is involved unless you have proof? That's what I'm saying. This whole hatred between Jews and Muslims, and I'm not talking about all the Muslims or all the Jews. I'm not saying that, because it's never good to paint an entire community with one broad brush. But the fact of the matter is, in many Muslim countries, the street hates Jews. And this hatred is not because of Palestine. It's not because of Palestine, for heaven's sake. And let me give you one example and proof, and you'll understand why it is not about Palestine. It was never about Palestine. Okay? So, you'll find a lot of people in a lot of Muslim countries saying, we hate the Jews or we hate Israel because they have taken Palestinian land. Right? But ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly Pakistan, which is a Muslim country, which is an Islamic country. It blames India. It says, oh, what about Junagadh? What about Siachen? Oh, what about Sir Creek? What about Kashmir, especially Kashmir? Pakistan says that Kashmir, because this is Pakistan's logic, right? Because Kashmir is Muslim majority, it should be with Pakistan. That is Pakistan's claim to Kashmir. It's Muslim majority, that's it. Now, why do the Pakistanis hate the Jews? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Why do the Pakistanis hate the Jews? Pakistani passport says, this is valid for every country except Israel. So Pakistanis are legally not allowed to enter Israel. They cannot enter Israel. That passport says for every country except Israel. So here you have Pakistanis saying that, we dislike Israel because of Palestine. But right now, as I record this, the Pakistani cricket team is in India playing the World Cup, and we have fought 4 wars against Pakistan. 47-48, 65-71, 1999 Kargil. Pakistan has caused terror in more than 2 states. 2 states just, I'm saying Kashmir and Punjab, but also Mumbai. 1993 bomb blasts, 26/11. What about the Akshardham temple? What about the parliament? I mean, in every single state of India or union territory or every second place, Pakistan has got terrorism here. And yet the Pakistani team is here. Yet we maintain high commissions in Islamabad and New Delhi respectively. And they are manned. Trade has stopped after Imran Khan, said that we will not trade with India, which is fine. We lost nothing. Pakistan lost everything. But the fact of the matter is, have you ever realized why there is hatred for Israel? It has got nothing to do with Palestine. And they always say it has got something to do with Palestine. Every time Palestine, because Israelis took land. But that is exactly what Pakistan accuses India of doing. They say that it's a Muslim majority area, you have taken our land. Kashmiriyon se nata kya la ilaha illallah. This slogan, what does it mean? Our relationship with Kashmiris, that is what Pakistanis say, relationship with Kashmiris is based on religion. They are Muslim, we are Muslim, therefore Kashmir has to be inside Pakistan or in Pakistan. That is Pakistan's logic. And Pakistan has fought wars for Kashmir and lost all of them. That's a separate case altogether. But why no hatred for India? Of course they hate India. Of course they hate Hindus. But there is a special hatred reserved for Jews, and I'm telling you, this hatred predates this Palestine-Israel issue. This hatred, ladies and gentlemen, is religious in nature. This hatred is 1400 years old. This hatred is sanctioned. And I will give you the proof soon. I will show you excerpts where it's written. And I will show you each and every single thing, that I'll make a special video about it. And then I will tell you that this is religiously sanctioned hatred. That is what is going on. So anybody who says that, no, Dagistan and West is interfering and this thing. So what if West is interfering? You're Russia. Did you allow the West to interfere in the Ukraine conflict? No. You've been at Ukraine for 1.5 years almost. You did not allow the West to interfere in Ukraine. West dare not interfere in Ukraine. West can give weapons. West can give money to Ukraine. But West cannot put NATO troops inside Ukraine because they know that Russia will thrash them left, right and center. And now you're saying the West has interfered and West orchestrated this airport? No, it would have happened anyway. You land a plane full of Jews today in let's say Pakistan. You land a plane full of Jews in Pakistan tomorrow. The Jews are my brothers and sisters. I would not wish this upon them or for anybody who's a decent human being. But tomorrow they'll get attacked if they're in Pakistan without any interference. Yeah, maybe not in Saudi Arabia, maybe not in UAE because their laws are very, very strict and law and order is a prime, for Prince Mohammed bin Salman and even the rulers of, UAE. They're very particular about law and order. But other Muslim countries, they'll get attacked. Yeah? You have Jews in Jordan, they'll get attacked. You have Jews in Lebanon, they'll get attacked. This is religious hatred. People are willing to kill Jews. You think the people of Dagistan would have visited Gaza? No, this is religious hatred. Here is a Jew, let me kill him. It's here, it's hardwired. So, in these 10-15 countries, Muslim countries, this problem, it exists everywhere, but otherwise, people are well-read, people are educated, and they live in a society where rule of law matters, and people don't do much about it. They just keep quiet, going about their daily chores, as everybody should. But this Dagestan thing, it's not about the West. I would like to tell the Russians, not about the West. It is about Islamist radicalization inside your country, and be aware, this will hit you so hard that you won't know what to do. You will have no defense against it. Russia can fight the US. Russia can fight everybody. And one more thing I'd like to say about China. China is taking sides in this conflict and saying that, Palestine, etc. You have Xinjiang. Don't play politics that you cannot control. You're taking a very wrong line, China. The day is not far. Remember, you have a border with Afghanistan. And remember, you have a border with Pakistan. The day is not far when you have mobs howling inside Xinjiang. And you'll have no place to hide because the jihadi is not there to fight. You have to understand. The jihadi is there to die. He has essentially come to die. And he wants to take as many people with him as possible. Because he's not staying on earth. He's going to heaven. Your death, when I say your, I mean Chinese. Your death is his ticket to heaven. For him to go to heaven, you must die. And he's going to get you. Wakhan corridor. China is playing with fire in this entire thing, and China does not understand. It thinks, we have controlled the internet, we have controlled this, we've even controlled the thought processes. You cannot control this unless you take offensive action. You cannot control jihad. It cannot be controlled without offensive action, and this is why I support Israel. What Israel is doing is absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct. Russia should do likewise, and China, you are in a very precarious condition. If you think that nothing will come from Afghanistan, how far is Afghanistan? How long is the Wakhan corridor? 360 kilometers? 380 kilometers? 400 maybe? That's 5 hours drive. Or maybe 2 days or 3 days on a dirt track. And the last news for the day is regarding Shani Louk. Shani Louk is German tattoo artist who was beheaded by Hamas terrorists. Israeli President Yitzhak Herzog on Monday night said the German tattoo artist Shani Louk, who was kidnapped by Hamas and whose body was paraded through Gaza, was beheaded by sadistic terrorists. In an interview with German media group Bild, he said, "Only now we got the note that Shani Louk has been confirmed and murdered and dead. They found her skull." Actually, they found her skull. They didn't find the entire body in one piece. They found her skull, which means that these barbaric, sadistic animals simply chopped off her head. He also said that the identification took so long because people were brutally abused, burnt, or dismembered. She experienced unthinkable horrors. So, Shani Louk was the one who was taken. She was paraded naked. God bless her soul. I mean, this is horrifying. They cut off her head. They burnt her. All I can say is that IDF, what you should do is, and this I wish from the bottom of my heart, and I request the Israeli Air Force, this girl Shani Louk, there are so many like her, but especially for this girl, tattoo artist, who was beheaded, by Hamas. Next time you put a missile inside the house of a Hamas leader and wipe him out, on the missile, write this girl's name. Write Shani Louk on the missile and put that missile in the window of that Hamas terrorist leader. And as the Jews say, may her memory always be a blessing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the question and answers. The first question is Krishna Arjun Narayanan. He says, this Martin guy says he learned to make bombs from Google. Is it possible for a civilian to have access to explosive raw material that is in Kerala, India? I don't know why he's saying that he learned it on Google. See, of course, if you Google how to make an explosive, there is information. There is information about everything. I mean, you want to make a nuclear bomb, there is information on Google. But if all the information is on Google or inside some books, or scientists have that information, how to make a nuclear bomb, for example. Now, this is not nuclear. This was a pretty standard IED, improvised explosive device. But let's say this Martin guy, he actually went on Google and he made this. Now, put this issue aside. Now, regarding a nuclear bomb, all the information is available. How do you make a nuclear bomb, right? How many countries have nuclear weapons? Because if information was the key, this information is available to Mongolia. This information is available to Congo. It's available to Tanzania. It's available to South Africa. It's available to everybody. Everybody has this information. Why don't they have the nuclear bomb? Similarly, this Martin guy. See, I'll tell you, I'm again and again saying he's a fall guy. I'm not saying he's not involved. I'm not saying he's not involved in this. I'm saying Martin is a fall guy. There is something else behind it. NIA will investigate and we'll come to know. But I know the philosophy of Jehovah's Witnesses, all right? And I don't believe for a moment that they will harm somebody. There are different denominations in Christianity, and these guys are like the calmest of the lot, if I can say that. I've studied in Christian schools and Christian colleges, and I know a little bit about it. I have Christian friends, I have Christian course-mates. These guys are really quiet. So anybody saying that they were practicing sedition or violence against the state, I don't buy this. Not about Jehovah's Witnesses. Not these guys. The second question is Ravi Kumar Sundaram. My question is simple. Why do Keralites and Bengalis steadfastly vote for communists? People of Kerala and West Bengal claim that they are literate, but yet they keep on voting communist to power. West Bengal has progressed from communist to TMC, which is even worse than the Communist Party. And today we know what's the situation in these two states. What gives? Can someone explain this to me? Okay, I'll explain it to you. Why someone? Let me explain. First of all, there are problems in every state in India. I'm not a fan of the communists. I don't like them very much. But let me tell you this. I think Kerala is doing pretty well, except for the radicalization piece. It's a pretty well-off state. It is one of the major tourism hubs in the world. The population is 100% literate. People are nice, right? Yeah, they have this radicalization problem. That is true. You mentioned about West Bengal. Now, West Bengal, it's not about the communists and TMC, right? You said that West Bengal, the problems in West Bengal. Yes, there are problems in Bihar also. There are no communists in Bihar. There are problems in Maharashtra, in Delhi, in UP, in Rajasthan, in Punjab, in every state in India. Can you name a state in India where there are no problems? And again, I have disagreed with Ms. Mamata Banerjee on a lot of issues, but we have to understand one thing. She is the constitutionally elected head of West Bengal. She's the chief minister. And who made her the chief minister? The people of West Bengal. If the people of West Bengal have made Mamata Banerjee the chief minister, who the hell am I to tell the people of West Bengal that you're wrong? You claim to be so intelligent. Why have you selected or elected Mamata Banerjee or TMC? No, it is the will of the people. And the people of West Bengal or the people of Kerala don't need education from any of us. They don't need education, at least from me. They know very well whom to vote for, and we have to respect. This is the essence of democracy. The Keralites will elect whom they want to elect, and it's totally their wish. And if I disagree and you disagree, that's just too bad. Maybe you don't like, or maybe somebody else does not like Mamata Banerjee. It's just too bad. Mamata Banerjee is the will of the people of West Bengal, and that will has to be respected in a democracy. You may agree, disagree, like, dislike, that's a separate matter. That's a personal matter. So I don't think, see, there is something wrong with every state, every union territory. There are good points, there are bad points. Even in America, there are problems with every state in America. And this happens. Wherever human beings are there, there'll be good and bad, right? But both these states, Kerala and West Bengal, it is the will of the people. The day people desire that they don't want the TMC, they'll not want the TMC. The day people decide they don't want the communists in Kerala, there'll be no communists in Kerala. It's as simple as that. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.